Morning. All for the day. Not a breakfast that I am used to that kind of breakfast, except loads of butter and sugar and milk. I love milk. Today I want to talk about my new normal, because ever since the day I went to therapy, I have been feeling almost better. And since that day, I began a road to recovery. And the last video I made was entitled that, A Road to Recovery. Now, before I go any further, I knew for a fact that when I was talking about the therapy session, when I was talking to my father, when I was talking about all that, I was going to get emotional. And now that I got it all out, I put it all out there, I put out everything I needed to say, everything on the line. But a part of me that wants to branch out and work on my new normal. So, as of right now, I may be planning a series that discusses my road to recovery. And on top of that, I want to talk about what I'll be doing these next few weeks while I'm here in school. Now, one of the things I can do, or one thing I could really work on, because I already know that I have to work on not worrying so much. I know this now. I can work on saying, this is my anxiety. What day isn't today? But I like it anyway. I'm sorry. I'm kind of in the middle of Facebook and Arthur. But anyway, what else? Oh, working on my new normal. I've never been this blank in my life, but there were times I just don't talk. I'm just gonna eat. Get doing. Before I go any further about this new normal, I want to talk to you about my newest disorder, which is obsessive compulsive disorder, and the courtesy of helpguide.org. Help.org is a non-profit resource that helps you with find out more about the mental health and your lifestyle, and your children and how they're affected by it, and also it talks about it's just basically your overall health guide, which is why it's called helpguide.org. And it talks a lot about the disorders that many people have, or many people share, or like the statistics say that they're 1/3 of people. But for those who don't know what obsessive compulsive disorder is, kind of choke. Obsessive compulsive disorder is an anxiety disorder which is characterized as uncontrollable, unwanted thoughts and repetitive, ritualized behaviors you feel compelled to perform. If you have OCD, like myself, you probably recognize that your obsessive thoughts, and compulsive behaviors are irrational, but even so, you feel unable to resist them and break free. So basically, they explain this as a needle getting stuck on the record. It causes the brain to get stuck on a particular thought. So you check the stove, they check the stove, or people wash their hands. Make sure that it's just certain examples. Now, obsessive is the uncontrollable part. Compulsions are the behaviors that comes along with it. Thus, the term obsessive compulsive disorder. They're washers. They're afraid of germs. There's the checkers, which is who I am, checking my temperature and checking my skin. There's the doubters and sinners. They're rangers, like the show Monk. The detective who had the obsessive compulsive disorder. His was, he used to have to make sure that everything was right. Everything was in alphabetical order. Everything had to be in alphabetical order. Everything had to be perfect. Or they displayed the obsessive compulsive disorder on TV commercial, actually. You know that? The guy in the next day Windows commercial. Whenever you get right, the blind has to be right. You just thought that was an average person just acting a little perfect. Nope. That's because of compulsive disorder. That they didn't show it like him checking it 20,000 times, but imagine that person in real life doing that every single morning. So next time you look at the next day windows or whatever commercial, you think about excessive phosphorus oil, and you can just see how that kind of fits if you go to health.org and look it up. And last but not least, you got the hoarders. And we all know what a hoarder is, a person who is constantly, basically have their whole life inside of one room, but it's all over the place. And you know about the show Hoarding, Buried Alive. It's a perfect example of excessive compulsive disorder. Great example of excessive compulsive disorder. Like, people cannot escape their own home, and it's upsetting. People who collect like old bottles, or if you get over the loss of a loved one, you like pile up the house with their stuff. I don't want to say crap, because to them it's not crap. It's values, it's memories. Some of them are good memories, some of them are bad memories, but they're memories. Now there are signs. Of course you all know the signs. If you haven't watched the True Life show, I have OCD, or I have obsessive compulsive disorder, it's probably online. YouTube. Everybody who has a YouTube page, or anybody who's been on YouTube, you can actually look up True Life OCD, and it could probably be on there, or it could be on MTV, on their website. You never know. Or they show it constantly. I remember this one girl. Hers was double checking or tapping for like food, right? And she used to what was it? She was well, she had, let's say she had, to make some toast, right? She had the butter in her hand, she had a knife, then she would go like this, constantly seeing if she put enough butter on there. Crazy, right? Then there was another guy who constantly checked the door. And he had a girlfriend. And it was one for show where he checked the door, and she goes, baby, show's on. And he's checking the door, checking the door. So it's kind of like that. But there are some obsessive thoughts that will blow your mind, that people think that I'm not obsessive, are really obsessive. Of course, we all know about fear of being contaminated by germs or dirt, and people are suicidal when they're on OCD. But the one thing that tripped me out was intrusive, sexually explicit, or violent thoughts and images. We all know that sex changes everything. If you are sexually active, you know that sex can make things go right, go wrong, or just have a 50-50 chance of it being both. People don't know that sex rules the world in a way. Let's look at politics. You can type in, I'm gonna type in sex and politics. The same-sex marriage. The president of France and his sex scandal. Them secret agents who got caught with them Colombian prostitutes. That's not OCD, but people think about it. What's the number one joke you hear when you hear about those secret agents? What's the main thing comedians talk about when they hear about the secret agents? They say, when I retire from comedy, I'm going to be not the old comics, but the new comics. Certain old comics, but the one thing that they will say, if I retire from comedy, I'm going to become what? A secret agent. Because they get to sleep with what? Prostitutes. And you know what's messed up? Kids don't know what to say nowadays. This new generation, y'all make me sick. Not mentally, not physically, but just that made me not want to go out. Cause y'all are crazy. Have you seen World Star Hip Hop? I do it because, number one, I'm kind of bored. But there is a video out there. It's an Instagram video about a substitute teacher being ran out of class by some badass kids. And if you want to watch it, I'll put a link in the description below for it. If you want to watch it, you really don't have to. It's not really that serious. But they threw paper at her, and when she walked out the class, and they threw a trash can at her. Yo, there had to be at least one student out there that felt bad for that substitute teacher. But no, the entire class got on her, threw a trash can at her. That just goes to show you that kids today don't give a damn. There's so many people who claim that their kid is number one. It's just so many parents today who say there's nothing wrong with their kid. Then how come every time you get a call from your child's school, it's not good? It is not just the black kids. Oh, no. It's mainly the whole ethnic gamut. But back to OCD. With the thoughts, there are morals people follow, and that can go through your mind all day, and that could play out throughout your entire day, and you wouldn't even know it. Another thought: fear of losing stuff or having things that you don't have, things that you got. You don't got the new phone or whatever. That's the stuff of thoughts. Order and symmetry. Remember, everything you just right. Think of the next day windows, or just think of that commercial. Then there's a compulsive. The constant double checking, checking on our loved ones. That was kind of my situation. My grandma was here, and I was guarding her in a way. And just constant tapping, repeating certain things, just to make anxiety go down. That's kind of making it worse. You're constantly doing all this stuff. And then, this is pretty crazy. Well, not really crazy with people who, about the fear of God. It's too much fear. And they're constantly praying. And it's just, it can really mess with you if you let it. Now, it does happen in your teen years, or when you get older, like myself. There are therapies that you can try. There's exposure and response prevention. It involves repeated exposure to the source of your obsession, and you are asked to refrain from that behavior, usually performed to reduce your anxiety. If you are a hand washer, you touch the handle, restroom, prevent washing, or you sit and you have the urge to wash your hands and all that stuff. Then there's the cognitive. It focuses on the catastrophic thoughts, an exaggerated sense of responsibility you feel. And a big part of that therapy is teaching healthy, effective ways of responding to excessive thoughts without resorting to compulsive behavior. And then it's the 4 R's for conquering symptoms of obsessive compulsive disorder. There's a relabel, reattribute, refocus, revalue. And this is from the Westwood Institute of Anxiety Disorders. I'm not going to go down the line, but you can go on helpguide.org and find out more about it. I'll put a link in the description below for that. And there's also family therapy, because that can really help. And then there's a group therapy. There are other people who have the same symptoms that you have. There's group therapy for that. And then there's self-help. Now, I'm not really so big on the self-help, but if you would like to do self-help, that's alright. And you can also have a loved one if they're going through this as well. But I will put the link for that in the description below for helpguide.org, because helpguide.org really is a go-to website for me. If you feel these symptoms and you want to learn more about it, go online. Just don't do what I do, and when you feel don't go on WebMD, because you think you got OCD, and the next thing you know, these barrage of just outlandish things just pop up. Of symptoms, just this barrage of symptoms. And if you have anxiety like I have, it'll make it worse. Don't do that. Even now, I have to stop doing it. That's an obsessive thing for me too. Constantly checking to see I don't have that shit. But at the end of the day, you want to be healthy. Everyone wants to be healthy. Physically, mentally. It's obvious. Then when you see somebody that's not doing well, you tend to feel bad. But the one thing you can do is, if you feel bad, just take the time out, take a few minutes to yourself. If you believe in Christianity or any religion, just talk it out. Talk to God, or talk to whoever you pray to. Tell them to bless you and give them, well, don't tell them, tell whatever religion that you're in, ask for blessing or ask for forgiveness. Don't go crazy out here, because it's, to be honest, if you go through what I go through on a daily basis, there's going to be a time where you can just look at it and say, you know what, at least it's not that bad. And that's what people have to realize now. And that's what people have to, do when it comes to perfecting the new normal. It's not going to be easy. Who said it was going to be easy? Whoever told you it was going to be easy should be slapped in the face. But at the end of the day, they don't control your life, you do. Your mom doesn't control it, your dad doesn't control it, no one in your family controls your life but you. Yes, they give you rules, but you have rules for life as well that need to be followed. That in the long run, you can say everything that you've done, whether it was good, whether it was bad, whether it was a mixture of both, it worked out in your favor. And that's it. And looking at the time, I knew that this was going to be a long video. But at the end of the day, it's your life. You have every opportunity out there for you, and you can take it. Just don't be an opportunist every single time nothing is thrown at you. In other words, learn your new normal.